Alright, last video we grabbed some loot from a Windows machine using reverse shell, Metasploit, hash dump, and Mimikatz, the Kiwi plugin on Metasploit. Today I'm going to try and pick up John the Ripper Jumbo, the community enhanced version of John the Ripper, on the GitHub repo. We need to check a couple of dependencies for that. Pardon me, just verifying that I've got my Windows loot. I was doing this on the virtual machine for my bootcamp class that they offer, but it was giving me some issues with the dependencies. So I jumped onto my Hyper-V Kali Linux VM, ran an update and upgrade command to refresh everything in terms of packages. And now I'm going to check on the required dependencies for John the Ripper. What I'm going to do first is run, one second. What's the difference between apt get update, upgrade, and apt update, upgrade? I'm asking Gemini for a quick answer. The difference lies in their intended use, user experience, and the scope of functionalities they encompass. apt get's a lower level tool. apt is newer, more user-friendly, combines the functionality of apt get and cache, reducing the need for multiple commands. Okay, so I would have thought that apt get was more recent, but apt commands are more recent. apt update, apt get update, they both perform the same core function, refreshing the local package index. And apt upgrade, apt get upgrade both install newer versions of the packages you already have on your system. So basically, you're verifying the package index first and then upgrading it. So we've got that done. Now I'm going to prepare to set up John the Ripper Jumbo. John the Ripper Jumbo is a full version of John the Ripper with a bunch of enhancements. So we want to first check that we have John the Ripper. Interesting. Created directory when I ran John. And it was created in home Kali. Wasn't expecting that. .john there. I'm going to go ahead and remove that for now. Oh. We need to, since it's a directory, make this a recursive. There we go. So now I'm going to uninstall John. And it's removing a couple of default items. You know what I might do? So I'll keep John installed globally, and I'm going to try and install John the Ripper Jumbo locally so that we would run it straight from its own directory. I don't think that will cause any conflicts, but we'll find out soon enough, because I don't want to uninstall more than is necessary, and this stuff makes me nervous that I'm installing more than I should be when just removing John. So we aborted the removal of 10 items here. Now we're going to go ahead and use git. We'll want to check that we have git. We've got git. We need to go ahead and git clone the Jumbo repository from GitHub. Open wall john.git. And we're cloning that to the home directory. Should create its own folder with a bunch of stuff. Then we'll jump into the source folder within the John directory once it's ready to go. We'll then configure it with a script they have in there. We'll run the make command to compile the code. And then there's an optional system-wide installation command there using sudo make install that we're going to ignore. And then we're going to try and just run it straight from the John executable located within the run subdirectory of the John directory. So we'll troubleshoot that a little bit. I'm sure that we'll not do it cleanly. Let's take a look. I just ate some toast, bread razors, so it tore up my lips. Sorry if I'm fiddling. cd John, and then we're going into the source folder within John. And we're looking for the configure script. That's the one we're going to run. So we'll run configure, and we'll see if this causes any issues. You know, what I'm going to do before that, however, is check on my dependencies. Let's see. I'm just going to go ahead and run the install command on them. That's not it, buddy. Doesn't transfer my copy clipboard, so we'll do it manually. Sudo apt install build essential libssl dev, and if these are installed, it'll just reinstall them. clib1 g-dev and package config. Upgrading, installing. So it looks like it's grabbing a couple of them, installing the rest. So we're getting the dependencies set up. And we haven't yet configured the GitHub repo. We've just cloned the data down. And what we're ultimately getting to is we've got Windows loot that we're going to take a look at. This portion's from hash dump. These other portions down here are from Mimikatz, the Kiwi plugin in Metasploit. I'm not sure if this file can be parsed as is with John the Ripper or if I'll have to separate it out, but we'll get to that. First thing, I know this is hash dump. I can't remember the two commands I ran to grab this information, but we'll get there in time. While we're waiting, I'll check to see what commands those were that we ran within the Mimikatz Kiwi. Let's see here. It was in the workshop of my bootcamp class, and we ran creds MSV and LSA dump. So we'll have to just parse out which of the two sections some of the data belongs to. So we've got the dependencies installed for John. Now we need to configure, run that script there. The ./ is telling it to execute the script and identifying it in the current directory. Current directory / configure, so basically just running the configure file. Next is building out John the Ripper. And I'm going to try the commands within make-s and j-s is running silent is what that means, and the j lets me tell the command how many processors to use, and then we'll feed in a variable that returns the number of processors I have available. And it's right there, what we have to do. So interestingly, it's saying run 4, so I wonder if it grabbed it for us, the number of processors. I'll show you what it had looked like first. I'm going to run clean because it recommends it just out of curiosity, and then I'm going to sudo this just in case. And what it would look like to return the number of processors is right there, but instead we're just going to feed it a 4 because it looks like it told us already right here at the bottom. Target CPU must grab the info. So let's go ahead and run that and see how we do. And then we'll start running through the John / run directory and see how it goes there. In the meantime, while we're waiting for this to run, I'm just going to look up what Cred's MSV output looks like. So we can see on the data what we're looking at. I'm not seeing anything. We might just run it again. So we'll do Kiwi. Warning, 7Z format will lack something. BZIP needs libs z2, and we did libs zlib1g-dev, so we'll see how that does. I assume they're related. Kiwi creds, MSV is not really outputting anything. Let's try LSA dump SAM output example. And I'm just trying to check images on Google right now. Give me data. Nothing fun there. Let's ask Gemini. So when you use this command, you're extracting password hashes from the SAM database, the secrets account manager. It's going to output username, RID, relative ID, NTLM hashes, LM hashes. So I want to say that hash dump and LSA dump outputted something similar, but let's take another look while this is fumbling along. Go ahead and just open it as a text file. So let's see here. Username fstack, policy keys, secret, NL, and dpappy. Wonder if these are similar to this NTML and SHA-1 hashes, since they're divided like that. I need to see what this means. But we'll just run John in a second, see how it does parsing that out. While we're waiting, let's see, warning, notice 7z format will lack bzip2 support, needs libbz2. Warning. So I don't know if it's frozen right now or if it's still chugging along, but we'll continue to wait for a moment for that and see what happens. Make process completed. That's probably a good sign. Alright, so let's go back a folder. We're in source. We need to get to run. We'll clear it out here. And we're looking just to run John. So let's try it out with the basics. Running John version. So this is running it locally within the directory rather than grabbing the global version of John. We'll see if there's any conflicts. I'm just double checking formatting here. We need to do probably format NT. We're going to grab the word list. We'll probably use the default word list and then the path to the hash file. For now, let's see, where's our run command here? There it is. Just double checking that because I didn't want to create a directory if possible. Let's try -H, there we go. So that's a good sign that we're good to go. Clear that out. Let's start running John. Set up a format, NT. For NTLM, since we're working with Windows. We'll do the, if we don't put in a word list, I believe it defaults. So we'll put I want to double check where the word lists are located. And also, we now have access to fancy word lists, I believe, through John here. So let's double check. I want to say it's in source. And we're looking for password list. So I'm going to go, it's in alphabetical order per column. So I'm looking at PASS. I could grep it. Here, let's do this. ls grep star.lst. Let's try recursive. Not there. Let's try running that up here. Git ignore .lst. Could have sworn the password list was in the source file, but let's see where else it could be. See how good Gemini is at telling us where the password list. It doesn't come with any pre-installed password lists, but I've seen them in there. Oh well, so instead we're going to look at the user share folder. So we'll clear this out so you can see it. So we've got john.lst is probably the one we'll use. What is Rocku? The most common one is Rocku. So if rocku.txt.gz is compressed, let's see how we use it. Could use gzip to decompress. So let's see if gzip is available. Looks like it. So let's do gzip decompress rock u. Let's run a sudo to elevate privileges to unlock that. All right, so now we've got rocku. I want to grab just the, there we go, that's what I was trying to grab. Copy selection. So now we've got a fat word list. It's going to probably run for a while, but that's all right. See if we can just paste it in without it running the code. Fantastic. So we've got a word list. Now we need to set up our location, and I can't remember. Oh, we don't need that. It's past an argument. We just need to put it in the end here. So it's in downloads, the Windows loots.txt. So let's just run it and see what happens here. Create a directory, loaded 2 password hashes with no different salts. No such file or directory. Oh, that's why. For that. Let's try it again. All right, so looks like we've grabbed one. So let's do John show. Password files required but none specified, so we'll do John show downloads the Windows loots.txt. Dang it, Bobby. Password hash is 0 cracked, 4 left. So let's see, use the show dash. I missed that, I didn't read it thoroughly enough. Four password hashes cracked, 0 left. So we've got, looks like password academy and password academy. Okay. So I want to see what it looks like now. I'm going to look at the file and see if it updated it. Baloney. Alright, let's go on this other one. Cleared out. Change directory to home directory. Downloads. Cat Windows loot. And so it doesn't look like it added the password changes to the file itself. I think it saves it to John. Now I want to figure out what else we can run here. So I see a SHA-1. I'm going to go ahead and, whoops. I'm going to go ahead and try to copy this and paste it. No, it doesn't work. Let's see what else we can run. Let's see. I'm going to ask, how does John save cracked passwords? Saves it in a pot file. of cracked passwords, preventing John the Ripper from recracking them in subsequent runs. Default pot file is named john.pot, same directory where you ran the command. So let's take a look and see if we see that. It should be pot file, P-O-T, pot, John pot file, john.pot. Let's see, john.pot. I don't see it. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and cd run, and I'm going to do ls a grep wildcard dot pot. Do we need to do how to wildcard and grep command? So we're troubleshooting a little bit as we go. Looks like it should just take it automatically, so it's not seeing it there. Let's change to source. You know what? We didn't run it recursively, so I wonder if that's the issue. There we go. So let's see what we got. A bunch of POTs, but we wanted .pot specifically. Did we not specify that? We did. It's pulling from the password list, which I couldn't find before for some reason. So it does have a password list. Interesting. Where are you? There it is. What the heck? Blind. Sorry about that. All right. So I don't see the .pot still. Let's see. Pot check. Reading through. John.pot. All right, let's do a where. Find rar. All right, that's fine. Whatever, doesn't matter. I'm curious. I'm gonna try running John or not, bruh. I guess it was here. Pressing up a bunch to get to it. Format, I'm gonna try MD5 and run it. Maybe it's raw MD5. Checking the formatting. Yeah, all right, so let's try, you had to put raw in front. No password hash is loaded. Let's try SHA 256. Let's try SHA 512. No password hash is loaded. Alright, so I think the best we're going to do for now is these correct passwords. Looks like the common password for admin is Academy in this situation. So that was the long and the short here of grabbing Jumbo John, setting it up locally. Did we run it locally, fam? I don't think we really did. So let's try this again. We ran the global one, now we're going to run it locally. Format NT. See if we grab anything else from this. So running it the same, grabs the same. And then we'll do, let's just try show. Just curious to see if it grabbed the pot file on its own, but it doesn't look like it does. Alright, so it's showing the same stuff. In this scenario, I guess we could have used the default John, but we've used default John, we've used John Jumbo. We used the RockU password list after decompressing it. I do want to see if I can grab more information from this, because it seems like it just cracked this portion. It might be looking for this type of formatting for parsing, because we've got a couple other guys down here that we could play with. So I'll look into that a little bit more, but for now, that's how we explore the data that we stole from the Windows sandbox. And now we're basically processing it locally with John the Ripper, formatting NT, and utilizing the RockU word list just to have some extra fun and learn some new stuff. Figured out that apt get and apt are very similar. Apt is the more updated format or command for that. We ran some grep commands. I need to refresh myself on find, where, and locate. And other than that, if you have any suggestions, corrections, comments, please leave a message in the chat.